Nigeria's first and only indigenous defense manufacturing company and backed by ISO 9001 to 2015 certification, PROFORCE is indeed a force to be reckoned with in this business. We have a conversation with the Managing Director, Chief Executive Engineer Ade Ogundeyin. Plus, a tour of the manufacturing plant, a look at some of the quality control processes as explained by the team at PROFORCE Nigeria Limited. This is Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. Hello, a very good day to you and thanks for joining us. My name is Kenneth Odushola Stevenson and this is Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. On today's edition of the program, we'll be talking about something quite specific and important to the Nigerian and the African economy: defense manufacturing plants, especially in Nigeria. PROFORCE Nigeria Limited is the only and the first indigenous manufacturer of defense armored vehicles. And Inside Business Africa today will take a tour of this particular factory, but before then, we will talk to the Managing Director and Chief Executive. We'll talk about all this when we come back right after this commercial break. Welcome back. You're still Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. This particular establishment, PROFORCE, is indeed a force to be reckoned with. It's an ISO certification company, 9001 to 2015. That means everything that's done at this establishment, especially when it has to do with the defense, is to international standard. And it's probably one of the most respected in African continent, to be precise. On today's edition of the program, we'll be having a conversation with the Managing Director, Engineer Ade Ogundeyin, and also to take a very important tour of the production plant. But before then, take a listen to this short documentary. Incorporated in 2008 as a subsidiary of Ola Clean Holdings Limited, PROFORCE has become the pioneer and only total defense provider in West Africa. As Nigeria's first and only indigenous defense manufacturing company, PROFORCE is ISO 9001 to 2015 certified and specializes in offering defense solutions that ensure personnel perfection across all terrains in the sea, in the air, and on the land. Driven by the passion to indigenize localization of armored products, PROFORCE employs 100% indigenous technicians, welders, and electricians across its 3 bases situated in Nigeria, Dubai, and India. Over the past 15 years, PROFORCE has leveraged research and exploited deep technical know-how to produce and develop outstanding portfolios of products for domestic and international clients, including but not limited to Nigerian government, Chadian government, Rwanda government. PROFORCE utilizes her superior craftsmanship to produce outstanding products that are in line with international certified ballistic standards materials. PROFORCE, indeed a force to be reckoned with in the defense manufacturing mechanism across the African continent, and indeed the first and the only one in Nigeria so far. But we've had a very, very important conversation with the Managing Director, Engineer Ade Ogundeyin, to take us through some of the emergence of this firm in the Nigerian economy and the quality controls and many other mechanisms that have been put in place to make this company an ISO certification company. Take a listen to this exclusive conversation.
A lot of people believe that PROFORCE is only about vehicles, but PROFORCE is a totally defense solution provider. It was established in 2008, and we've gone through thick and thin in Nigeria and all over Africa. Today, we are the leading defense service provider, not only in Nigeria, but in sub-Saharan Africa. And that has been due to a lot of exposures we've gone through, a lot of training programs, a lot of exhibitions we've taken part in all over the world. And that's why we are where we are today. terms of product quality, customer service, you see, what we do is that because we train majority of our staff, and most of the training it takes place abroad. We send a lot of people abroad. They learn a lot of things. We bring in expatriates. They are here for a short period of time, and then they leave. They are just here for a contract. They transfer technology, and when they transfer technology to our own people who are very intelligent. So it sets them apart. So invariably, when you come here, you see majority of the staff you see here, 98% of them are Nigerians. And because of that, they learn easily from all these expatriates. So by the time the expatriates are going, they can stand on their own. And it sets us apart completely. And then apart from that, when you look at the cost, our costs compared to the imported vehicles, our costs are very, very reasonable. Number one, it saves the country a lot of foreign exchange. It creates job employment. When it comes to CSR around the environment, our influence is very well felt. So Proforce definitely will stand out in anything they do. Just like I said, when you say Proforce Armored Cars, we're talking about the armored personnel carriers. We're talking about the MRAPs, mine-resistant ambush protected vehicles. They are all over the country. They are, when you go to Sambisa Forest, when you go to the northeast, when you go to the northwest, even when you go to the south, you see our vehicles all over the place. And it has been able to protect majority of our armored personnel. If not for Proforce vehicles, a lot of them would be gone. They would have lost their lives by now. And we have competed very well, very, very well, because we understand our environment with all the imported ones they bring. And we understand the environment. We understand, a typical example, the kind of fuel we use here. A lot of these imported vehicles, they are too sensitive to our type of fuel. Our fuel, a lot of them are adulterated. So you realize that even in the middle of a battle, some of them just give up. Some of them just stop. And Proforce vehicles just go all over the place without any problems, any issues at all. And then the good thing again is that, you see, a lot of these armored vehicles, when they bring them into the country, they tell them they are of a particular standard level. Standard level is the quality of the steel, hardness of steel to resist the projectile. But you realize that some projectiles just penetrate through, whereas in the case of Proforce armored vehicles, even at the stage of production, they come to Proforce, they witness what we are doing, they test the vehicles before the vehicles go out, and they are satisfied. We would not release the vehicles until they are satisfied. And not only that, the end users communicate with us, they come to Proforce, they stay with us, and we continue to discuss. They discuss with us about their challenges on the field. You see, all these things give us an edge over any imported vehicle into this country because we are in contact with the end users. So they express the challenges they face when they're on the field. They express the challenges that occur when they're on the field. And because of that, we've now built a vehicle to negate all those challenges. That is what sets us different from any other one. I'll tell you why Proforce. So why not Proforce? That is the question I'll ask you. But I'll tell you why. Number one, you see, this is a security issue. And I'm sure you know that when it comes to security, it's very, very sensitive. They can't just give everybody license to start producing security. If you look at the whole of Proforce, you can see where it's guarded by a lot of military personnel. We have close to about 27 military personnel here guarding the whole place. If ordinary steel or glass gets out of this place without permission or anything and gets into the hands of the enemy, you know what that will cause. So that is why it is Proforce, and that is why there's so much confidence. Over the years, we have proved again and again and again to be extremely reliable and extremely dependable in everything we do. And they have total confidence in us that we will not work for the enemy and we would not even give the enemy a chance to survive at all in this environment. And that is why they will insist on PROFORCE vehicles. You see, there are a lot of steps involved in producing a vehicle. The first step is the designing of the vehicles, because we design our vehicles. And during the course of designing vehicles, we have our technical manager, our technical team that design the vehicles. In the design, they have the different components that are fixed into the different parts. And a lot of these components are brought in from all over the world. The engine comes in from Cummins. The transfer case comes in from America, Allison transmission. We have the glass that comes in from Peru. We have the steel that comes from Sweden. They come from different places. So the technical team puts together the design, and then it now moves to the R&D. The R&D, they look at the design, and then they try to build a model, a prototype. The prototype is tested very well. After the prototype is tested very well, then it can now be moved to the production floor, whereby they now mass produce those vehicles. You see, that's basically, but you see, the time factor between what may take about 2 years. But the moment they start producing the vehicles, then one vehicle within 4 weeks, 5 weeks sometimes, they can produce 1, 10, 20 vehicles in 4 or 5 weeks, because it's a serial production. You see, we have, of course, we have the challenges in Nigeria, but everywhere you go to, there are challenges. So I always tell my team that, look, there are challenges everywhere we go to, and challenges are just stepping stones into success. Right from the time we import these vehicles, even right from the time we are transferring money, or you are opening letters of credit, there are challenges. You are transferring money, there are challenges. Yes, sourcing for foreign exchange, there are challenges. The parts come into Nigeria, at the custom area, there are challenges. By the time you are moving even from the port to this place, there are challenges. Even within this locality, power is a challenge. We run on generators most of the time. So in everything, there are challenges. But you see, if you focus on the challenges, you will never do anything at all. So the best thing is to confront the challenges. I always tell my team, I said, life is not about learning to dance in the rain. It's not waiting for the rain. It is about learning to dance in the rain. So it's confronting the challenges. And once you confront your challenges, you overcome and you succeed. That is the way it is. Yes. PROFORCE generally, even the vehicles, for example, we've discovered one thing, and that is that the rate at which the exchange rate is going up is so high, so the cost of diesel will be going very, very high. So fueling most of these vehicles will be extremely high. So we're thinking of the CNG, an alternative, having CNG run vehicles, which will bring down the cost of running the vehicles, considerably by about 80–90%. That's number one. Then number two, we keep on changing our designs. We come up with new designs, latest designs, and we come up with vehicles that move at a very, very fast speed. And then we come up with vehicles that are lighter in terms of weight of the vehicle. And then when it comes to PROFORCE itself, when it comes to PROFORCE, not the vehicles, there are so many areas we've gone into. We've gone into the PROFORCE Galaxies that deals with aerospace. We have PROFORCE Air Systems that deals with the UAVs. And there are different areas we've gone into. And we believe that within the next 1 year, PROFORCE will evolve to be the largest, the most reliable defense manufacturer in the whole of Africa within the next 1 year. Yes, within the next 1 or 2 years, what we can see in PROFORCE, we are going to save Nigerian economy, we are going to save foreign exchange usage of foreign exchange, because most of these things are done locally. So we are going to save the country a lot of foreign exchange. Not only that, because it's being manufactured in Nigeria, we charge in Naira, we don't charge in dollars. So we're going to save the country a lot of foreign exchange. We're going to create job employment. And once you create job employment, then you take most of these insurgents off the streets. Once you create job employment for them, they are engaged, they are physically engaged, so they are off the streets. And it reduces the crime rate everywhere. It reduces kidnapping everywhere. Once they are physically, don't forget, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So once their minds are busy, once they are engaged, then crime rate reduces. And these are the areas by which we are going to influence the Nigerian economy. Not only that, in terms of prototypes that we are building, transfer of technology, Nigeria is going to become PROFORCE is building the military-industrial complex that Nigeria needs urgently. A military-industrial complex, that is what it was. A military-industrial complex is a congregation of defense industries that can cater for the defense needs of a particular country without importing majority of the parts. The reason why I'm saying so is that, you see, with the military-industrial complex, which is what PROFORCE is doing, there will be backward integration. For example, we're importing the engines from Cummins engines from America. There will be other companies that will start producing the engines in Nigeria. They will create job employment. Once they create job employment, even the parts of the engines, there will be other companies that will be, that's fabrication factories that will be producing those parts for those ones. So you can see the backward integration, and it will create job employment, take people off the streets, and then people are physically engaged, and it affects the economy, because you just realize with the military-industrial complex, it will contribute appreciably to the GDP of the country. What I want to convey is that, people don't need to give up on the country. There is so much to be done in this country. There are so many opportunities in this country. You see, all we need to do is to think long term. We have a government today that is friendly to manufacturers, and they are ready to do anything to make sure manufacturers succeed. Because you see, if manufacturers in Nigeria, manufacturing is the backbone of any economy. If we do not get it right, the only way by which you can bring down the foreign exchange, the exchange rate, is by manufacturing locally and exporting. PROFORCE exports to so many countries: Mali, Rwanda, Chad, Burkina, everywhere, so many African countries, and that generates foreign exchange for the country. So if we do not get it right by making sure that manufacturing is the backbone of this economy, then we are doomed, because manufacturing needs to contribute a certain percentage to the GDP of this country. By contributing an appreciable percentage, what you realize is that the exchange rate crashes down. So what I would want to advise, especially the younger generation, is that there is hope for tomorrow. They don't need to give up. They don't need to run out of the country. There's a lot of hope for tomorrow. It's just a matter of time. We will surely get there.
Now, from the conversation with the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Engineer Ade Ogundeyin, let's now move straight to the plant, where the team at this important organization explains some of the manufacturing processes, including quality control and more.
Gather around. So, guys, what we're basically doing today is to search for the tastiest biscuits ever on the playground. Are you guys ready? Yeah! The search starts in 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Sona biscuits are rich in flavor, nourishment, and excitement for kids of all ages. Grab a bite today.
Can you tell me what they use this facility for?
Okay.
Speak to the mic, please.
Thank you so much. My name is Ogbere Femi. I'm the training manager, PROFORCE. I want to welcome you formally to the training academy. This PROFORCE Training Academy, as you can see, is a state-of-the-art, technologically advanced training facility equipped with modern training gadgets and tools. And as you can see, this is our tea breakout session during training. We make sure that our training participants are given adequate treatment. That is why we have all these gadgets here. This is training room 1. As you can see, with about 60 seating capacity. We have a training here every week, and we make sure that we give our workforce the best training that they need. We are deeply involved in building capacity, bridging skill gaps, and creating learning intervention programs across all business units. That is what we do here. Every single week we are here for training. We believe strongly that when the workforce is well trained, in fact, there's going to be efficiency and productivity. That is the essence of continuous training. And we also make sure that our continuous training and learning and development for all members of the workforce is such that everyone is given adequate opportunity to train and retrain and make sure that skills are well developed so that we can be leading armory and defense solution provider in the world. That is the essence of the training unit.
I'm Raymond Asarison Team, Business Development Manager in charge of PROFORCE Air Systems. Welcome to PROFORCE Air Systems. This is where we have the design and then manufacturing of unmanned aerial vehicles. Okay, right here is the production floor where we have some drones already being assembled here. We have mapping drones, we have surveillance drones, and we have all kinds of drones actually here. We have capability of designing any kind of drone solution or any kind of aerial solution, being it 2 hours endurance, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, any kind of endurance that our clients request. And our solutions are for forest monitoring, for surveillance, reconnaissance, intelligence, data gathering, and all forms of solutions, okay?
My name is Ayodeji Kayode Sholadoye. I'm the manager in charge of maintenance, repair, and overhaul, PROFORCE Defense Limited. This is MRO, what we maintenance, repair, and overhaul. So basically what we do here is we maintain, we repair, and we overhaul. In a nutshell, the 3 names, they are just interwoven because there is no way you will maintain that you won't repair, and there is no way you will repair that you won't overhaul. So that's just the name. There is no matter how the vehicle looks like, no matter how bad it is, no matter how, yes, this one, we are bringing it up anytime soon. We are on it already. We'll try and make it an upgrade because part of the job we do here, we'll make a 2.8 vehicle, we can make a 2004 vehicle to, so far the shape still fits into that model.
I'm Engineer Benga Tolagbe. Welcome to PROFORCE R&D. Okay, so this is the design hub of PROFORCE land system and PROFORCE air system too. Now, this is the R&D facility where we bring, where we develop most of the product that is being done in PROFORCE, from land system, air system, and so on and so forth. Right now, we are working on drones. Okay, some of those drones are being used in the academy right now. We are developing the prototype for this drone. They have to be printed from a 3D printer. Okay, using some ABS and PLA material.
My name is Olawole Olusomi. This is WMO Gadgets. It's also one of the businesses under PROFORCE Limited. So here we produce helmets and vests, and you could see different type and sizes. Depends on the specification of the end user. They serve different purposes. You can see this is different from this. And you can see this is also different from this. So we also have female fashion of this helmet and vest. So this is, we have the capacity to produce 1,000 vests every month here. This is used by police, while this is also used by police. But this is amphibious. This is used by Navy, naval officer, and this is also used by naval officer. You can see this is a floating vest, and this is for Nigeria Army. You can see you have different bags and pockets around it that you could be able to carry a lot of weapons. And this is called inner jacket. You can actually wear this under your clothes. It's level 3 vest. With this, you have to add another, we call it carrier bag, carrier plate, where you have another jacket that will carry the plate.
My name is Mr. Amifo Emeka. I'm the production manager, PROFORCE Limited. We are here producing armored vehicles, both military spec and the civilian vehicles here. Our design team who designed these vehicles for us, and the design is actually brought to us and sent to our CNC machines, which cut these parts into bits. And the bits are placed in a jig where they are being produced. And each jig can take a vehicle per time. You can go to that side. For instance, I'm going to show you a jig that we use in producing this Viper. On my far right, you see a jig. Now this jig is used to assemble all the parts that are cut out from our CNC machines to assemble this Viper. Another point of concern I want us to understand in production here is the upholstery section. The upholstery section actually is very important because raw ballistic steel has been placed on this vehicle, and we will need to conceal and cover up the ugly nature of iron or steel. And that is why we bring in the upholstery to cover up the steel, to make sure that they look attractive and better. They come in this form, and once they are done, you still see them in this form. But the upholstery we have to cover them up and make them look good, of course, to actually work with the color of the vehicle.
This is PROFORCE Clinic. Here we attend to minor ailments and mostly injuries. This is our pharmacy. We have a pharmacy. You can come in. You have a pharmacy technician in charge of the pharmacy. The female treatment room and the male treatment room. And then we admit patients here, but mostly for less than 24 hours. This is like the first contact for all emergency cases.
Here on Inside Business Africa, we look out for the best companies that are doing well in Nigeria. And we also report activities in the business, finance, and the economy. What you have witnessed today is a matter of something that has never happened in Nigeria, and one company that is doing marvelously well and providing the defense sector the needed equipment and armored vehicle. PROFORCE Nigeria Limited. Congratulations. And that's about all we have time for on Inside Business Africa for today. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.